I'm playing now for less than a couple.
Let's go. There you are, another level.
No idea. I was showing Bailey, Bailey from I was showing.
Yes.
We have to match up on people who do the same skill, and I went down like that. Mate, me and you will be going to match up on the same sort of skill level. You need to ask someone on the photo.
Oh, you might try starting rolling with doing behind the back though.
If an Aussie go in the reset, before they go, if they ever get to that point, then they'll have enough. No, I'm saying they ever do. They ever do, I'll be there, help them out. Yeah, it wouldn't be anything. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I found that on my phone. That makes sense.
So there you go, you're invaluable addition to playing all of that. It was half time for that one, I think, mate.
What was, I think they were 4:30.
I thought it was 4.
Yeah, time to do it.
It's the usual, I don't know, 2.5 hours for a game, it's going to take 2 hours to play.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, I thought I saw 4:30, so I was thinking 4:30 up. I've called on by now at 6:30 to actually do it.
That could be one, but I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm not sure, you're probably right.
I like I read 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right.
Around. I always mentioned the gun and go, 15. You're looking for it?
Around something.
Around that whole step of it, 1930. It seems like a small number.
Yeah,
it's
so.
over the year, but it's
Yeah.
yeah, your mob was in the field last night.
I wasn't watching it. I was in a musical last night.
That's musical. Culture of you, bro?
I'm a big music fan.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
I'm out. Week doing it. And I thought,
I would not have picked that, though.
mate, I'm a millionaire. I know I'm long out.
A couple on Norway and New York. I would have got myself an aficionado. I went for the Lion King and Dick and Morty. No, really.
I'm a connoisseur. Anyone that's down here, I'm like, oh, $25 for a ticket.
There you go.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. No, I did check the score and I thought 6 points would have went down a while.
William Dicey.
Haven't yet watched the highlights, but
They're looking terrible for you. And then Gold Coast, then you bleeding Gold Coast bottom left family you're not in the top 4.
yeah, right.
It swung very nicely. For about 15 minutes there, it was looking very bad.
Yeah, right.
A few goals up, heading into the 3/4 time, a little late goal. Yeah, Yeah, I think so. Is that right? Yeah, we can do that. Well, good afternoon and welcome to Ninja Stadium for round 15 SFL Premier League football, and it's a massive clash in store for you this afternoon. The top of the ladder showdown, perhaps maybe even a grand final preview. It's the high-flying Lauderdale Bombers taking on probably their biggest challenges, many would say, this year in the Clarence Roos. It's a beautiful day for football here at Bellerive, and really looking forward to this one. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me on the call here this afternoon is Bo Downham. Good afternoon, Bo, and this should be a cracking encounter.
Good afternoon, Drew. Yeah, good to be here. It's definitely should be a top table finish here. I'm expecting a really close start and finish to the game. I mean, both teams in some really good form, obviously the top two seeds, so you'd assume that with everything going as it is at the moment, it'd be a grand final, maybe a nice little preview, but you never know what can happen in football. But I'm expecting these two teams to come out firing. Lauderdale quite tall, we'll speak about that a little bit later, but yeah, interesting sort of game form going on here as well, so maybe the veteran can provide something to Clarence. You can just steer him over the line. Looking forward to it, Drew.
Talking about come out firing, certainly Fletcher Hooker and Daniel Cooney have come out firing at each other in the opening bounce, smashing into each other for a couple of minutes per game. But it'll be the Bombers who get first use of the football, wide towards Sutton. He'll retreat via hand and found Ratcliffe. He goes further back to Williams. Now Rainbird will head wide with a precise kick that finds Shaw tight to the line. He sights one in the Phillips direction and tumbles down, takes the mark. It's a land of the Giants type set up forward of the ball for the Bombers here. Jordan Lane is one of them. Flew from behind there, couldn't quite reel it in. So that one's forced across the line, but certainly Lane, Siggins, Holmes there and Hooker. There is some big firepower in that forward 50 for the Bombers, but
it certainly is. Of course, game 150 to Josh Williams. Lauderdale number 2. Just him as Phillips and Mapley lock arms. Rainbird in there. Rue chips it out now towards Glover. Coming through was Williams. Harper. 200 about a month ago. Now Green in the middle of the ground. Searching to go forward. Leading out nicely. There's the big number 45 in Banks. On the Lauderdale player as well. But sweep up off half back and kick it inboard to Rainbird. Just a little bit too heavy, but a high free kick. That's the call anyway from the umpire, going to Rainbird.
So Rainbird thought about the quick give and thought better of it. Instead, barely the 15 to Tilly, who was the handball option, went via the boot instead, and Tilly will send it wide. A bit of room to manoeuvre here for Shaw, who lofts one high in the Siggins direction. He's just caught behind though, and able to defend that one away is Harper. Penetrating kick finds Green, peels out into some room on the wing. Josh Green will certainly be key. His side's hopes here this afternoon. He spied Glover over the top. Glover now drives the ball inside forward 50. Winter getting back, couldn't quite complete the mark. Shared it with McGuinness. The pressure coming now, but some composure from Bellchambers. The kick though just lacking a bit of direction. Straight to Green, pumps it back inside the forward 50, but he can only pick out Suki. So a couple of looks inside 50 there for the Roos, but unable to get anything going. Phillips now. Big ruckman spies Sutton, working hard. Some wide open spaces on the wing here at Ninja. Not much forward of the ball, so just chip one into the corridor instead. Lane had pushed up and was still hanging high. He sends this one forward. Siggins again caught behind. Not quite the service he was after. Harper dropped the mark though. An opportunity now for the Bombers. Siggins will try and gather tight to the line. He kept it in. Paprotny working back. Shares the handball and now a chance to clear the kick out towards Harper. And it's a good precise kick that finds him in the back pocket.
Harper hugged up along the boundary. Looking to open the ground up, and that's exactly what he does. Switching across the pockets. Harper just misfired with the kick, a touch. And we'll see a throw in out of side. 3 gone in this first turn. Of course, playing for Speak Up State Charity Cup today, Drew. Good initiative. So, the 2 big ruckman. Mapley, good learnings from him on Andrew Phillips as Mapley does win the first touchdown. Racket goes inside forward 50. Siggins using his body out the back. Might have been held, he was. Umpire spotted that one from a mile away, and he's going to be called to bring it back. Smashing into the glass up there. Going to be called to have another shot of Sam Siggins. He can open up his account today. Own goal kicker, of course.
Pretty clear tug on the jumper, that one. And that's the intimidating presence that Siggins is, causes panic amongst defences.
And they're quite a young backline as well today, the Roos, Drew. So just a little bit of experience down there. Harper can get round to them and help them out, but I'll focus on Sam Siggins as he has a relatively easy kick towards goal. And no mistake of it, the one arm goes up. Siggins on the board early, Lauderdale one straight. The goal umpire work, but does the job. Siggins gets his first of the afternoon. Racket goes inside forward.
Certainly someone that Clarence have to try and limit the influence of. And the real focal point early on for Lauderdale, playing the deepest of the forwards, and they've targeted him just about every time they've gone inside 50 thus far. That time, a little grab of the Guernsey, giving him his first major. So back to the middle. After the opening 5 minutes, it's the Bombers who draw first blood. Phillips wins it down. Clarence with a chance at the clearance. Hooker comes in, applies some pressure. Mapley the big leap, but he couldn't outreach Phillips, who won it down. Green sweeping around the back of the stoppage. Heads wide with the kick. Sutton will be first to it, but he's just buffeted off the ball there. Some nice work from Hurd, but he couldn't gather it in time. It was rather forcefully shoved across the line by McGuinness. Steele, in fact. And McGuinness just making sure he knows he's in the contest there. He comes off the ground. Seems to be all right, though. Ethan Steele as it's tossed back into play. Phillips works his way to the front, slapped it down. Holmes playing on the ball as well at the moment. Looked the handball to Sutton, shared it with Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe bends it up towards the paint of 50. Hooker from behind, cleared out of there though by Harper. Phillips shut that down. Scrapping at ground level, Davey. Walsh locking the ball in on him. A stellar season in the Bombers engine room. Bryce Walsh missed a bit of football, but when he's been out there, he's been in good form this year, and he lays a firm tackle there and forces another ball up.
Ball up, not too far out, nearly on the arc. As Holmes wins the tap down. Swooping through was Green, having some midfield minutes. As still in dispute, Green still going for it. Walsh, hand pass just got cut off. Cooney, Harper. Now the big man Mapley getting involved down to Harper. Kick inside the corridor. Was nicely weighted for Glover. It didn't quite get there in the end though. And Lauderdale have the numbers to mop up. McGuinness now will take a nice mark and just hold up time and look for his next best option. Down the line, Rainbird presents if he wants to go to him. Or and a shift across the ground to Ben Williams. Williams covered the ground quite nicely here, Clarence. So he's just sizing up the options. Williams. Ben Williams out to Josh Williams, or rather, I think Josh Williams out there now as he kicks inboard to Bell Chambers. Nice run here from Lauderdale. Leading up is Sam Siggins on the lead and right on the arc of 50. You'd think this would not be a task for him. Usually, probably better from outside 50. You'd maybe say about Sam Siggins, perhaps.
Well, he's definitely got the journey in him, no doubt there. Never an easy kick from outside 50, but better than 50-50 when this man's kicking the ball.
Absolutely. So Siggins looking for 2 early first-term goals here. We get a couple of interchanges. So on the arc of 50, quite literally opens up the angle. He drives it all the way. There, the distance was not the issue. The accuracy was. We'll see it not even make a score.
Out on the full. So Turner will take over. Deep in defence. Norton gets his first touch of the football. Someone the Roos Like to have the ball in handoff. That's not why, though. An uncharacteristically poor kick. Just pulled it, turned it over in the end. Shaw looking to combine with McGuinness, who showed some poise and then drove it up to Blackburn. The Leeds present themselves inside 50, but once again it's Siggins the target here. He's got a few to fly against, though. Coming across in support there early. Preshaw whacks it out of play. Just got to be careful they don't become too Sam Siggins-centric early here. The Bombers, they've got plenty of other threats in that forward line. That time, I'm sure going to the 3-on-1 was necessarily the right play. Clarence well aware. They've got two men standing Siggins at this stoppage in the goal square as the ball is one down. Mapley tries to escape, but Walsh wrested free from him. The umpire's whistle had already sounded. He turns away, saying why not a goal, but the umpire clearly whistled there. Everyone had stopped. So the Bombers looking to find their second of the contest. Holmes doing the ruck work here, handed it off to Walsh. Walsh arches the back, turns away, doesn't quite have the accuracy. Couple to beat in the square for Siggins. He beats them both, plays on and slaps through his second. Too strong from Sammy Siggins. And he has his second. The Bombers have their second. They lead it by 12 points.
Yeah, again, just pure strength from Sam Siggins, really. He is always on the move and always looking to push his opponent underneath it and use his body. If he's not leading up at you and if he's not kicking from 50, he's usually in the goal square trying to get a one-on-one battle. And he's doing just that at the moment, is Sam Siggins. Two straight here at Ninja Stadium. 10.5 gone into the first term. It's Lauderdale by 12 points as we drift back into position now. Phillips and Mapley again. Should be a good battle. Mapley winning the bounce on him this time. Hand pass flicked out from Davey. Harper spreading through the middle. Out towards Garland on the lead. Nearly providing a good mark down there is Garland. Picking up now is Hanslow. Flicking it out even further across to Steele. Steele with a high up and under ball. Fist came from the side. Lauderdale with the numbers. And now they're going to stream off half back. Running through the middle of Ninja Stadium. Lane's going to be the target. Lane nearly. Good fist in from Joe McGann. Is running onto it now is Paprotny, and Blackburn laying a nice tackle. We'll see a ball up right in front of our commentary position and right in front of the interchange benches here. Phillips and Mapley, an intriguing ruck contest. The old and the new going at it today. It's all on display here. Hooker sliding through, does well. Paprotny instantly got him. Walsh got a clearing kick, which just spiraled towards Jordan Lane. He does well. Siggins tracking back to the goal square if he wants him. He can open up the ground, or he might just go in front of Sam Siggins again. This is for his fourth shot on goal in nearly 12 minutes gone. Oh, football. Sam Siggins starting hot here at Ninja Stadium. Opens up the arc, wastes no time. Kick towards Jack Dolliver. It'll end up outside the field of play, and Sam Siggins, maybe 2 goals he perhaps should have got. It'll be a throw-in outside.
I didn't quite catch that one as you would have liked Siggins, but he is dominating early on here. Competition's leading goal scorer, extending that lead so far and looking like he could have a day out. Hooker onto this one. Green wrapping him up. Green second in the goal kicking race, playing on the ball today, trying to get him more involved in the big guns for the Roos, as this one's one down. Green another possession. The rush kick clears. Steele got clattered into there, broken up by Marriott. Steele then brought him down and won the free kick. Good perseverance there. So Steele will head across the face, retreats all the way to the last line of defence. The kick just pitches ahead of Preshaw, but he has some time and space to manoeuvre and bite off one to Harper. The Bombers well set up behind the football, so he just heads sideways. Harper to Harper, who will now look to unlock things on the wing. This is some good ball use from the Roos. Hurd has it. They've thought their way through this pretty well. Inside for Hanslow. You two now for Hanslow. Goes looking for Glover in a one-on-one. Shaw came with a fist from behind. Shaw to McGuinness. McGuinness will sweep it all the way back to Williams. Williams looked one way, then went back out the other. A nice, precise kick, and it's brought in by Shaw, who's been busy early on here for the Bombers. Has it at half-back. Axton Norton playing loose behind the ball at the moment for the Roos. It's an interesting tactical one. That kick drifting wide and out of bounds on the full. Perhaps Clarence looking to free Norton up to use that pinpoint kicking ability of his, Bo.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? As this kick goes into Hurd. Hurd looking centre field as well. And he did have someone on in the middle in Johnston. Elected not to go to him. Just puts a pass in. Green. High up and under ball towards the arc. Oh, good mark taken from Davey. This will really test the range of Lachlan Davey. You would have thought.
He immediately pointed goalward though, didn't he?
He did. So it'll be interesting to see his range. A little bit of wind around here at Ninja Stadium. Nothing too crazy. It might just let him add the extra leg to it. So Davey from outside 50. The distance was not an issue at all. Davey gets his first. Clarence are on the board. He was very content with taking that kick, Andrew Cooling, and why not?
Yeah, you can see why he was confident. The moment he marked, he didn't bother looking around for the pass. He just pointed and said, no, boys, I've got this. Stepped up, seized the opportunity. That's what Clarence are going to have to do today if they're going to cause the upset. They need to take those half chances, those difficult set shots. If they can convert them, they'll hang in there. They've largely been on the back foot for the first 15 and a half minutes, but they're only down by 6 points. So it's going to be the key to Clarence, just hanging in there, absorbing pressure at one end, and then if they can hit back and take their chances at the other end. They've certainly got some goal kickers up that end of the field if they can get it there, but they've done well to hang in there. They've been on the back foot early on, but they've been pretty composed by Boot in particular when they've looked to move the ball forward, and we saw that there in the build-up. So to the middle it goes. Napoli decisively over the top of Holmes. Handball to the outside. Steele. A throw's called against Hanslow. The free kick will go way of Tilly. Tilly saunters forward, then searches for Jordan Lane. Strong mark from Lane now. Siggins one-on-one deep, a likely target once again. Instead changes it up and goes looking for a hooker. Couldn't quite reel it in. Fell to Norton. And the kick on the outside. Gathered and driven back into the corridor. Found Hanslow. So the Roos look to build off half-back here. Just treading water a tad was Turner, but he thought his way through it nicely. And Johnston, who retreats all the way back to Harper. So you can see a little bit of keepings off. Patience. The ball in hand from the Roos, and it's working pretty well at the moment. That kick couldn't quite find Green. Spoiled away from him out towards the line. Shaw arrives to apply some pressure, as does McGuinness. And they force a stoppage on the wing. Very interesting approach from the Roos early on here. You can see they've really come with a game plan. Don't want to kick to contest. There's a lot of size in this Bombers outfit. Just content to take their time. One targets by foot. Patient with the build-up. Mapley comes over the top, one it down. Paprotny there. The boundary line wins out.
So 1-2. Hot start here at Ninja Stadium. Maybe not on the goals, but the pressure has been well and truly there. It's been a good start to this top of the table clash. Holmes getting it out of the ruck. Hooker's going to swoop on this one, or maybe Norton will get there first, and we'll see a bit of deja vu. Maybe 5 metres around to where we were before. Umpire's going to throw it back in. Even forward of the ball, Lauderdale. So Holmes, silver service down to Rainbird. Scrapping at ground level is big and McGuinness. Hooker rather. pardon. Do it all again. So Mapley ripping it out of the ruck. Big tackle there from Rainbird. Umpire called play on. Green. Hooker still in there. Sutton working overtime as well. And you see a free kick going away of the Roos. So Josh Green. Does he look to switch it, or he's quite content just to go down the line where Colin Garland is going to await, and that's the direction he goes. Garland. Nice one-on-one grab from, I think it's Suki. He's having a season best. Well, career best, rather, really, Drew, as Walsh works his way down the line to Rainbird.
He's really flourished into one of the premier defenders in the competition. Tane Suki, big match-up on Garland today, and taking the points early in that duel. He'll receive the ball now, the deepest of the defence, switches it across to Williams. Winter peels off into some space. Roos defending space pretty well, so now it's going to be the Bombers' time to show a little bit of patience and just switch it around the back line. Williams back to Suki. He now bites one from the corridor, but it was a bad kick straight to Garland. Now can they be punished by the Roos here? An opportunity for Norton to use that left boot of his, and it's a pinpoint kick inside forward 50. Finds the marking target in the form of Gapin. That's why you want the ball in the hands of Baxter Norton right there.
Yep, our point exactly.
So Tommy Gapin can square things up here as we tick into red time in the opening quarter. Make it 2 goals apiece. Just pulls the kick short. It'll land short of the goals. Pressure on in the square. Some pressure being applied there, and able to force a stoppage in the goal square. I think the ruck able to get a piece of that one. Phillips in there. Glover boring in after it. Bell Chambers emerging with the football and was sharp by hand. They'll clear the area up towards Siggins in a wrestling match with Harper, who did well to spoil it away from him. Down to Hurd. Spinning into trouble there is Philpott. The umpire will toss it up. Lane to do the ruck work against Mapley. He reaches over the top, won it down. Ratcliffe spinning through. Now Cooney trying to escape the clutches of Williams, unable to do so. Phillips back in the ruck here. Mapley does well initially, but then Phillips spikes it away towards Shaw. Couldn't gather it cleanly. Norton did, and he spears one inside the forward 50. He finds a marking target again. Some wonderful ball use there from Norton, really showing his capabilities by foot. We'll see if the finish can be applied this time by Glover.
It was a sharp lead, wasn't it, Drew? He was red hot on that, was Glover.
Clarence doing a really good job stopping Lauderdale exiting defensive 50 cleanly as this quarter's progressed. So can Glover succeed where Gapin failed and square things up? He sends it on its way. It looks good. He does. The Roos hitting back here at Ninja Stadium. It's all square, 2 goals apiece. And we've got ourselves a real contest in the offing here between the competition's top 2. 2 goals plays 2 goals.
And nicely done by Glover. He was very sharp on that lead, as we said, and he was all over it to start with. Went back and kicked truly to equal it up, heading in to the near quarter time break. Not too far away, 22 and a half. We're into red time now. I'll expect another 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5. As we jump back into the middle of the ground now. Phillips and Mapley. I'll say it all day, it's going to be an intriguing battle as Mapley wins the tap down on this occasion. You can hear the crowd saying well done. Out to Bealey. Bealey's kick nicely weighted out to Sutton as they work their way down this outer side. Sutton just through the hands of Shaw. Clarence with the numbers. Norton dancing around through the pack. They'll get it back. Well, they'll go back inboard. It's a dicey kick, but still stood underneath it nicely. So still, hand pass. Oh, Bryce Walsh was onto that. And we'll see a ball up. Still trying to go quickly out of the back line, but Walsh, the veteran, all over what he was doing. read him like a book on that occasion. So Holmes, bleach blonde hair today. Sutton, Tilly, fishing account on Instagram. Love seeing it. Siggins, down towards him. Blackburn's leading out. Clarence with the numbers. Harper's going to be taken in a tackle. And another ball up inside forward 50. Just inside the arc. So Siggins to rip it out potentially. Walsh clearing away with it now. Clarence, they work this way down the interchange side. Steele, the bounce didn't quite sit for him. He made it work though. Glover looking for an option, searching forward. Nice kick on to the chest of Banks. And Banks is going to try driving forward.
So Banks on the pain of 50, perhaps just beyond him. The leads present themselves. Glover screaming for it. That's ignored. He's just going to pump it deep. He goes right to the square. And that made life pretty easy for Suki, who drifts across and spikes it across. Clarence take the lead by that behind. They've really got on top here the last 10 minutes or so. The first 15 minutes, Lauderdale were pretty dominant. Things swinging around here. The Roos starting to get a feel for the contest as Hooker looks to drive the Bombers forward. Holmes hitting up at the football. Couldn't reel in the mark. He will get the free kick, however. So Holmes, a couple of short options, or Siggins one-on-one deep. That's the one he opts for. And Siggins with some body work, trying to work his way to the football. Harper did really well and seeks the safety of the line. As you see, into Siggins there a bit. A niggle out there. A potential grand final preview, depending how the finals pan out. Paprotny turns this one around the corner. Cooney works up. Tumbling bounce eventually landed in his lap, and then they'll curl this one up over the top. Garland tracking the football. So to Glover, eventually seen across the line. 26 minutes gone. Absolutely gorgeous day for football here at Ninja. The sun beating down on Bellerive, and it's the Roos by 1 point.
Both defences probably got the spotlight on them today. Blake Harper down one end, Tane Suki as well. As Mapley, either ruckman really getting to it. Green with the clearing kick though towards half forward. Coming out is Mapley on the lead, nearly holding the jumper is the call though. So Mapley's going to. Might not take this free kick. It'll be Banks. Mapley's going to drift further afield. Garland's making a run for it towards full forward. He's just going to stop and go towards Turner. Turner's going to bomb it outside 50. Green on the lead nearly. Garland just off the hands of him. Snap kick off by Cole Garland, and that's going to head into the third or fourth row of Ninja Stadium. Ponting or David Boone's stand end. All in the hands of Sutton. They work their way down this outer side. Holmes nearly. Mapley flew for it as well as they drift out to Rainbird. Rainbird's hand pass inboard was a good one to Hooker. Hooker now. His kick wasn't quite as precise as he would have liked to hit Andrew Phillips on the chest, and we'll see it out on the full.
So the Roos just with things on their terms at the moment. Tight, low scoring ball game. Patience been the order of the day. Short ball finds Johnson, half back, drives a low bullet to Hanslow. Hanslow thought about the short give to Cooney instead. Spies Green on a lead, two across to deal with him. Beerley did well initially. The handball just put his teammate Suki under a bit of pressure. Suki just shovels it straight across the line, and the umpire has no hesitation in saying that is absolutely insufficient intent. Didn't disguise that one.
No, I didn't think about that at all. The umpire, he knew it. He was on to it. Good on him.
So, an opportunity here for Green to open up the angle, snap it round the corner. Josh Green! The Roos have their third. Green's been running hot in quarter number one. He adds a goal to a stack of disposals. And it's Clarence by 7 points over the lower leaders. They're doing it nicely so far, the home side. And how many times have we seen Green do that sort of thing in his illustrious career? He is so dangerous anywhere inside the forward 50.
Absolutely, he is. And they're going to have to put a little bit more work into him because he's just starting to work his way into this game, whether it be down in full forward or around the ground in the midfield. He's starting to really provide something for the Roos at present moment. Beautiful day, as Drury said. Tap down from Phillips. He'll ruck and robe his own football. He might just paddle it on, though, to the awaiting Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's kick inside is high for Lane. He stood underneath it. He might just work out for him. Gets it on the right shoe. Doesn't have the distance. Segan's in the goal square. Tied up along the square he was. Pre-Shaw, and now they're going to work their way out of hands. Nicely done out there from Hurd. And this kick isn't quite on the chest of a teammate, and he would have liked it. So we'll see a boundary throwing. Good spoil from behind from Josh McGuinness.
Good work there from Blake Harper. Sam Seagans took 4 marks in the opening 10 minutes, was really dominating that matchup, but Harper's hit back really well.
He has. He's a good young defender, is Blake Harper. Sutton, Norton, Phillips. Further afield, the hand pass actually just got turned over in the end to Turner. Garland on the lead. 1 bite, 2 bites of it. Kick inboard to Cooney. Some valuable lessons out here for these younger players playing with Cole Garland, and they were nearly out there as well. The siren, a bit premature if you're a Clarence fan, but it's a nice opening term of football here at Ninja Stadium. 3-1-19 to 2 straight. Andrew Calling.
Yeah, Lauderdale firmly on top in the opening 10-15 minutes. A lot of the ball inside 50 seemed fairly in control. Then the game really swung. Clarence got there first, and from that moment onwards, they really controlled proceedings. They controlled the football. They had a lot more of it. They were able to move the ball around, perhaps using their leg speed to just use the wide expanses of this ground, find targets by foot. They've been composed with their ball use and just really started to work their way on top. Lauderdale had it all on their own terms early on, but Clarence, well worth their lead, you'd have to say, at quarter time. They were fantastic after being jumped. So the ladder leaders with a bit of work to do, I'd say.
Absolutely. I think Clarence, definitely brought it back within that last 15 minutes, Drew. You've hit the nail on the head there, and it's going to be an intriguing and mouth-watering clash that we've got here at Ninja Stadium, I reckon.
Well, I think so. The top of the table showdown, not disappointing so far. We'll be back shortly with quarter number 2. Quarter time here at Ninja Stadium. It's Clarence 3-1-19, leading Lauderdale 2 straight 12.
Let him add the extra leg to it. So Davey from outside 50. The distance was not an issue at all. Davey gets his first. Clarence are on the board.
Initially, but then Phillips spikes it away towards Shaw. Couldn't gather it cleanly. Norton did, and he spears one inside the forward 50. He finds a marking target again. So can Glover succeed where Gapen failed and square things up? He sends it on its way. It looks good. He does. Deal with him. Beerley did well initially. The handball just put his teammate Suki under a bit of pressure. Suki just shovels it straight across the line, and the umpire.
Get on him.
So an opportunity here for Green to open up the angle, snap it round the corner. Josh Green! The Roos have their third. Green's been
there is, isn't
That's
there?
what I was thinking. Well, surely they're not distilling.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably they are. That's going to be a bit of a technical organisation.
I was thinking, I was thinking of saying, it's too bad, right? I'm not going to say that. I was thinking, well, that's a little weird that they're doing that.
That's what shirts like.
So we're back for quarter number 2 here at Bellerive. It's the home side leading by 7 points. The ladder leaders Lauderdale with a little bit of work to do, but it's still pretty tight as we get set for the second term. The ground bathed in sunshine. Really is a wonderful day for football. Light breeze, but nothing really favouring either end. And perfect conditions. The ground looking in great nick. This top of the table showdown. It's Clarence Cincy by 7 points. Low down on to kick us off in quarter number 2.
Wonder if anyone can get 54. Last week we saw it. That's probably why the ground's so good. They've done a very good job, the ground staff. And probably the last game of the year here, potentially for the Roots. As we go into the middle now. Phillips, Harper, breaking stride nicely. Turner out on the wing. Will send it forward. Williams was coming up to meet it. Cooney, though, on this outer side. Ratcliffe just laid into him as soon as he kicked it. And a big spoil out from Beerley. Walsh. His kick really hugged the boundary. It hugged it so much it was out. And Turner's... Turner is going to get the free kick. Stabbing one forward to Cooney. Non-15 was the call. He'll have to work around and try and get a... Oh, big fire from Hanso. That was adventurous at best. Definitely pushing it back to McGuinness.
Unrealistic, I think, the adjective of the umpire will be thinking as he plays the free kick. He's never getting anywhere near that one, Tyson Hansler. As this one's driven out of defence. Phillips tapped it to his teammate. Now worked into the middle, but just eluded a hooker. And bodies crash in, and there's stoppage. Free short on the bottom of that pack. Phillips won it down, but he was sharked there by Paprotny. Paprotny lofts a high ball, presenting up, but it was Millward. Smashed away from him.
Good young talent, John Millward.
Winter standing him, doing the defensive work. Millward now going to come across and contest this ruck duel with Phillips. Phillips works his way to the front. Millward won it down. Green coming through. The handball puts Steele under all sorts of pressure. Hooker stripped him of it. Shaw now can't escape Norton. The pressure from the Roos. It's been good round the ball early in this one. Phillips cleverly, craftily flicked it over the top. Now Hooker storms away from the stoppage. Just gets his kick away in time, but it was just impacted slightly and forced the errant kick, the turnover, and now Norton in the middle of the ground. Wheels off onto his left. Assesses the options and drives a searching ball that found Banks, who springs away immediately and looks for Garland just through his hands, but Green's lurking out the back. He gathers and snaps and just misses Josh Green. The type of goal you expect him to kick. So crafty around the goals green, but just offline on this occasion.
How good was that tap down from Andy Phillips as well? Green looking lively. Josh McGuinness to bring us back in. Like to go to the interchange side. kick it was. Turner used Tilly. Just ran around him. It was like a traffic cone in the end, Tilly. Just had to make his way around him. Nicely did Fraser Turner. Just drill a shortish ball inside to Mapley. It wasn't short, but it wasn't high. Millwood, in fact. Stuff that needs to play up there. It wasn't short, wasn't high. Doesn't matter. Millwood, though, tore the game alight in a under-16 grand final a couple of years ago, Drewy. He can kick bags of goals, this guy. Usually pretty good at turning their junior players into good senior players, the Roos. This bloke will be no exception, you'd assume. Kick on a slide angle. Go for it, Millwood. It nearly gets there. It does. He just snuck it through. Garland used the body precisely. All the experience coming in hand there. He just got it. Went back on the kick, maybe a touch, and just was a little bit lethargic with it, Drewy.
Yeah, no real wind to speak of. They had Big Phillips on the line. That one wouldn't have got across. It only just made it. I don't think the Lauderdale players were expecting distance to be an issue. It just snuck over, but Clarence kick away to a 14-point lead, and they pick up where they left off, just using the ball a lot better than the Bombers at the moment. You saw that McInnes turns the ball over coming out of defence, and then Clarence able to just spot up a target inside forward 50, and it's been ball use that's really stood out as the thing separating these sides at the moment for mine. Lauderdale just haven't been clean. Clarence have been pretty precise, and they've got a 14-point lead here, taking it right up to the ladder leaders. Cooney applying the pressure to Walsh. There'll be a repeat stoppage in the middle of the ground. Phillips palmed it down. Hooker. The handball away to Rainbird. Rainbird steps around one, then launches it deep. Siggins and Harper in a one-on-one. Harper did well, though. Won the contest again. Jeez, he's fought back well in that matchup, Harper. Another big one-on-one, but a little untidy coming out of defence on this occasion. They'll set it up in the Lane direction. He's got a couple to beat from behind. Lane almost plucked it from too deep. Walsh roved, spun out of trouble, flicked it over his head. Rainbird arriving. Siggins somehow gets boots a ball, but he can't quite direct his effort. And it's through for a behind.
Harper winning his way back into this. He's been big.
Easy to drop your head when, your opponent's taking full marks in the opening 10 minutes of the first quarter. But since then, he's probably won the last 3 or 4 one-on-ones, Harper. And they have been one-on-ones too.
Especially with the name that he's playing on, Sam Siggins. So Turner makes his way out. Lane stood underneath it. Just got a bit of a rev up quarter time, did the Lauderdale boys. Brent Goldman not too happy with what he was seeing as Lane, this kick well and truly hugs the boundary line. Siggins! Well, pick a mark or high. You can take your pick because the umpire did call it a bit high, but I think he marked it anyway. This will really test it. Tight angle. No one really working for him either. Until he might perhaps lead into the pocket, or Siggins might just go himself as he back up towards the crowd on to the signage. Sam Siggins, this will take one heck of an effort. Goes for it, it's working its way back and just misses as well. He made a pretty good attempt at that, but just the minor score. So 2-1 or 2-2 to 4-2. Clarence leading by 12.
So a 12-point lead for the home side as they look to reload out of defence here. Kicks up towards a contest. Millward was there. McInnes will gather it and skip through some heavy traffic. Just a fumble, though, from Shaw. Invited the pressure, and Philpott was able to force it out. Now it's worked down the line. The Roos might be out the back here. Paprotny just holds up a moment. Now he uses the loose over the top. Gapin shares it with Paprotny. Paprotny spies Garland. Green's there too. Spills out the back. Cleared out of there by Marriott. Tumbling kick to the middle of the ground. Tilly. Pressure came from behind from Philpott. Tilly able to gather it. Blackburn, well, he's outnumbered at the fall of it. The Roos able to swarm across. Now Hurd. Hurd handballs across to Preshaw. Drives it into the middle. Davey was good by hand, and now they'll drive it deep inside the forward 50 again. Oh, just running underneath the football was Bellchambers. Might have grabbed Glover without the ball, the umpire says. We'll have a stoppage.
Very lucky bounce. It was a very lucky bounce there for the Bombers. They had Banks all out on his lonesome. Phillips knocked it out of there. Marriott with a spiralling ball out of defence towards the outer side. It's not going to go anywhere near anyone. Closest person to it was the boy there, the trainer. So, pretty easy decision for the umpire. Kick inboard to Preshaw. Preshaw. Rather Turner will just send it long. Mapley. Green. Tight along the boundary they go, the Roos. High up and under one for Millwoods. Phillips took the mark. It wasn't 15 though. McGuinness. Kick corridor to Tilly. Used his body nicely, but he did well with the young Gapin. So they send them forward. McGuinness just with a fist out from behind. Hooker. Ball still in dispute. Big Noah Holmes just barreled a ball out of the vicinity of it. Lane. Gapin did well to fly over from the top. Big tackle Lane from Sutton. He drove him and he rode him. It was Philpott at the bottom of the pack. And we'll see a ball up.
So 12 points the lead for the Roos, and the game on their terms here at the moment. Phillips wins that one down to Rainbird, but he's immediately brought down by Harper.
Good feeling out there, a couple of ex-Roos out here.
Plenty of argy-bargy, that's for sure. Looking to make a pre-final statement here. Phillips slapped it down, but straight to Paprotny. Forced the handball out in the direction of Cooney. He was being grabbed there by Rainbird. He'll get the free kick. Just have the jumper a little prematurely. Cooney retreats back to Turner. Turner's going to go further back to Harper. We've seen this a bit today from the Roos, just patiently moving the ball around the back to try and open things up. Kick was precise. Now the handball back to the running Cooney, breaking lines and driving it inside the forward 50 and marking it is Glover. Johnston was calling for it in the goal square. Glover opted not to go for that option. Might take the shot on it. Would take something spectacular from here. He gives it a ride, but hung it near side. In the end, misses the lot, so not quite the result James Glover was after. The Bombers' defence really being put under some pressure here. Shaw working hard to give an option. He ends up going further afield. It was a 2-on-1. Holmes didn't have much hope there. A couple flying against him in the end. A little stab pass. Finds Harper tight to the line. Banks offering a lead. Heads towards the middle of the 50. Cooney sneaks in there and plucks it. They continue to just dissect this defence with precise kicking inside forward 50.
Yep, pinpoint. It was, beautiful to watch, really, wasn't it? He just waited at that perfect little bit, and the height as well to speak of.
To extend the lead to 18 points here for the Roos. He misses. A let off there from Daniel Cooney. One that they feel they probably should have taken, but the lead 13 points in favour of the home side.
Dolber moving down to the bench now. Just maybe getting a little bit worried. So, McGuinness. Playing a long ball out of defence, hugging the boundary again. Phillips, Sutton, just on the fall of it. Oh, got a bit of a head knock as well. Pretty okay, though, to Reece Sutton. Go in. Beautiful day at Belrive. Where else would you rather be? Phillips, Green, swooping on it. Nicely done. Sets it out for a task for Harper to complete. Didn't complete it. Blackburn swooped through. Ball up. Oh, the AFL logo nearly inside the square. Phillips and Mapley again to congest. Mapley got the fist on it. Straight to Dolliver. Replay the last bit. We'll do it all again. Phillips. This one down. Harper. Empire's just got turned over. Nice move from Phillips to slap it forward. Ratcliffe ran himself into some trouble. Still a bit of feeling out there. Good table clash on the AFL Tas live stream. Pleasure to have your company. Mackley and Phillips. Phillips did well. Just kicked it right into the back of Shaw. Sutton set it out now for Ratcliffe. Did well. Took a big bump from Hurd. Nicely done. Hooker. Sutton. Holmes is leading for it in the pocket. Nice fist from behind. From Preshaw. Defence just standing up for Clarence at the moment, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, they are. They're all getting around each other. This young group at the back. Preshaw spools out of play, and then two teammates immediately to him.
Just look on song, don't they? They know where everyone is.
Just the confidence starting to flow, the belief starting to build. Lauderdale, just the one loss this year. It was a shock loss, it must be said, to Glenorchy. Clarence looking to inflict a second defeat upon them. The build up to finals. Walsh has other ideas. His handball straight to the opposition. Blasted out of defence. Hanslow spoiled. Winter coughed it up to Green. Green and Bellchambers bearing down in. The kick inadvertently rather hit Siggins. Ball back into dispute.
I don't think Siggo was sort of ready for that, was he, Drew? He was looking to move forward or back.
Just got to hit him. So a stoppage in the middle of the ground. Holmes blocks out the space, won it down, but again Clarence with first hands to the ball at the fall of it. Steele puts it out into space here for Gapin. Will it sit for him? It does. Gapin can have a bounce if he wants. Instead goes the early kick looking for Garland. With strength, he takes it and then chips it back in, and he finds Fraser Turner. And Turner looks like he's going to take the shot on. No one back in the square at the moment. And Turner will try and find to put his side 19 points ahead. They've been right on top here in quarter number 2, the Roos. We need another goal to show for it, but Turner just coughed it straight up to McGuinness. Terrible kick, kicked it right down his throat, and it might really hurt them if the Bombers can get the move on back the other way. Walsh has Siggins bounding out into space. Siggins now looks up, and he finds Tilly. Tilly takes it in stride, sends it over the top, deep in the lane direction. Might fall for Dolliver, who just converts, and it's a 2-goal swing here for the Bombers. Fraser Turner had an opportunity to extend the lead at the other end, out to 19 points, kicked it straight into the man on the mark, and Lauderdale ruthlessly counter back the other way and cut the lead back to 7. That is a big sliding doors moment, Bo Downham.
Absolutely. Jack Dolliver swooped on that one. Nearly came off the knee, actually, but he just got it down in the nick of time. So that gets him on the board for this afternoon. Good crowd here at Ninja Stadium, actually. Got a few people to the right of us, right of screen. So Holmes hits his old side in the ruck. Harper flicks it out. Running on it for Protney. Nicely done to Turner. Good stuff out of the centre of Ninja Stadium. Running onto it now for a big goal. Just to fire back. The Roos have got it. Nicely done from Gapin. And a quick goal to the Roos. Just extends it back out now to 19 points, Drew.
That's exactly the response you want. Right out of the middle. And Tommy Gapin with some really nice work. And that goal, perhaps slightly less costly now when you can immediately wipe it back off the board. And That's just what the doctor ordered for the home side. Back out to a 13-point lead in Lauderdale. And finally made some inroads. See that one cancelled out immediately. They've been pretty good out of the middle, and Gapen just bounced to his feet, bounced free, and finished with aplomb. Some lovely work there. Clarence continue to take it right up to the Bombers. Phillips won it down and then paddled it on. He'll go for a third time, Phillips. This time just towed it out into space, taking it cleanly. Hooker, little chip ball inside the forward 50. Some work for the defence to do here. It's Oliver lurking. Walsh on the outside. Walsh trying to extract the football now, but the umpire called for a stoppage. The game just going to open up a bit and see the goals start to flow. Siggins got boot to ball, but was tackled off his kick. It forced a bit of a shank and it drifts out of play. A low scoring arm wrestle for much of the first half. Are we going to see the floodgates open slightly now, or the last few minutes just be a blip on the radar? Ball tossed back in. Mapley and Lane rucking. Chance here for Lauderdale, turning, straightening. It's going to land pretty nicely in the end for Hooker in the pocket. I don't think that was the intent. It was definitely a shot for goal. But rewarded for taking front position was Campbell Hooker. And he can go back, cap the lead back to 7 here. Just dropped in to his path nicely. And that's the value of taking front position as a forward. So Campbell Hooker. Just sends it across the face, and it went off there for the Roos.
Disappointing. Probably should have kicked that, particularly on the left. So Pre-Short. Kick towards Millwood. Body use was good, or rather this is Pre-Short. It in was rather. Apologies. So Pre-Short now to Davey. Davey wheeling and going now. Big pack forms, but he's just parted for Suki. Looking to open up now to Sutton. Had the run from Windsor. Might elect to go to him now, though. Tate Windsor. Son of the great Darren. He's going to take a bounce, but just went to go to Bell Chambers as they stream down this outer side of Ninja Stadium. Bell Chambers sends it in to the Rainbird direction. Trips across the line, and we'll see a throw in. Nearly 21 gone, 5-3 to 3-3. An even 2-goal margin here at Ninja Stadium. Crowd getting a little bit up and about.
Getting into a former player in Rainbird by the sounds of it, Bowie.
Paul also went down in the change rooms as well. If you get a new one, yeah, Mitch Rainbird played for a couple of teams now. Mapley, there was Rainbird on cue. Kick out from Steele, just into the path of Sutton, trying to tap it onto Walsh. Turner at the bottom of the pack, we'll see another ball up.
Lane rucked it down, rode beautifully by Tilly, had to get rid of it, did so. Philpott now looks to turn out of trouble. Clear and kick up towards Millwood, who just outpoints Winter. He's growing in prominence in this game, Millwood. He's really come into it in the second quarter. That was a bit of a dicey kick. It'll work out all right. The mark not paid. But it says defender got a hand in there. So he tossed up. He'll a late in for the Roos today. Not paid that one. So Mapley did pretty well to rise high. Bell Chambers tumbles it inside forward 50. Johnson backtracking, got the handball away to Preshaw, and he threads a lovely ball out of defence and finds Turner tight to the line. So Paprotny now. Spiny Freeman, so just heads back from whence it came. They'll drive it down the line here. Again, a strong pluck here from Millwood. Having a profound influence in quarter number 2, Millwood. He guides this one and finds the target. The handball now. The good ball inside forward 50. Flying early was Banks. Just ran under it a tad. Green with a ferocious tackle. And umpire said a tackle that got into the back. A free kick going the way of the Bombers. A short ball from Hooker finds Phillips. Phillips now progressed through the middle here via Shaw, ran into trouble, slipped over, and they forced the turnover. Will this be very costly? They're on out the back here, the Roos. Garland shares it back with Green, thought about the give, then decided to straighten up and snapped it straight out of bounds on the full. And missed there from the Roos, not punishing what looked a very dicey turnover at half back.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. Longer studs maybe we needed. Haven't seen too much slipping over today though. Looks pretty good.
Surface in great condition.
Yeah. Just maybe falling over the old feet. And it sure is. We kick this. Oh, big mark from Tilly, nearly taken in. As this one just spills out, hands low. Marriott. Swooping through was Ratcliffe. He'll go centre of the ground. It was a dicey kick again. Turn up, Protney just getting the fumbles a touch now. The Roos, but turnover kick from Marriott. And perhaps just having shades of this prelim final of last year, Drewy. We go down the ground from Williams in game 150. Kick was nearly weighted to Phillips. Pressure at the back was waiting for it. He'll dump a long one inside forward 50. Going nearly from behind. Just trying to edge his way into this game. Bell Chambers, hook up. And now the run from Dolliver. Goes towards Sam Siggins. 1-on-1. Flicks it forward. Hooker. No one in the 50. Barring Reece Sutton, who can waltz in to an open goal. End-to-end stuff from Lauderdale. And they bring it back to 7 points.
It's the best passenger play of the day there for the Bombers. Siggins on a big ball charging out. He was the deepest forward at that point. 1.5 forward, and Sutton just sensing the opportunity of the wide open forward 50, just ran into that space, knew if they could keep it, he'd be on the receiving end of it, and so he was. They had the spare out the back, and Sutton runs into an open goal. He's such a hard-running player, Reece Sutton, and he gets his reward there. Lauderdale, a bit of rope-a-dope there. The last few minutes they've been really under pressure at the back, absorbing blows from Clarence, who missed a couple of chances to extend their lead. Lauderdale counter back the other way and cut the lead back to 6 points. Phillips slaps it down. Hooker battle with Norton here. Tried to duck under the tackle of Hooker. And in the end, perhaps a little fortunate to get the over-the-shoulder free kick, but he will get it all the same here. Will Fletcher Hooker. No real leads working for him. The forwards just want it pumped in deep. Fell for Walsh. Walsh, right hand, gave it off to Ratcliffe, back to Walsh, balked one way, turned onto the left, flying shot from Walsh. He is thumped into the post by Preshaw. Just didn't quite get the purchase on the kick he was after there, Walsh, on the non-preferred left. As the lead is cut back to 5. Lauderdale making a move as we approach the half-time break. It's been an absorbing contest. Up towards the sea of bodies there. Winter put his teammate Hooker under all sorts of pressure there, and they cough it up. Hurd's kick charged down by Walsh. Norton applying pressure to Shaw, just threw that one away, got away with it. And then Norton is wrapped up by Walsh. It'll be a ball up just outside the forward 50.
5-3 to 4-4. 27 minutes gone here. And a riveting first half. Phillips and Mapley winning the tap down. Sock it out to the boundary line. And we'll see throw in. So Sam Siggins with 2 goals. Reece Sutton and Jack Dolliver. Singles to Gapen, Millwood, Green, Davey and Glover, as this one's tossed back in from the umpire. Tackle Only a sling potentially. Do it all again here. But Phillips, Green in there, just being a bit of a pest at the moment. Ratcliffe sends it long. Tilly and Blackburn, but from the side. Clarence doing well. They're going to shift this one to Steele. Dicey kick it was. Blackburn's going to swoop on this one. Holmes on the non-preferred. It's tumbling, but it's not tumbling to the right side if you're a Lauderdale fan. Behind, back to 4 points.
A relieved man, Blake Philpotter, did ever so well to intercept, but the kick was a poor one in a very dangerous part of the field to be making that error. So Lauderdale making a late charge. That was not the intended target, but it works out all right for Cooney. Now they look to dash off half-back with Steele. Didn't have a lot forward of the ball for him, though, so just heads wide instead. And it's a bit of an unkind bounce. Phillips loping after it, just kicked off the deck towards the defensive side of the square. Bellchambers under pressure. Got rid of it. He was composed, was Bellchambers. Blackburn peels off wide. Takes the mark. He's got Holmes working up for him. Half forward, but beaten there by McGann. Just read it better in flight. Gets a hand up and sees it out.
Pretty good defender, Joey McGann. Quite young as well, so an inexperienced Clarence Roos defence, Drew.
Well, the Roos would take the half-time siren if it were offered to them right now. Lauderdale charging at them late in the term, turning up the screws as they try and claim the lead. Free kick blown here.
As long as he's consistent. We've seen that a couple of times a game, I reckon.
There we go, the way of Napoli. They had taken the intercept mark in defence anyway. We've got a few more metres. As Napoli heads wide, hands low, had to be strong in the air under pressure from Hooker, and was. So hands low. Blast this one in the Millwood direction. Phillips reaches up, intercepts, and there is the siren to bring an end to an entertaining first half of this 1v2 clash at Ninja Stadium. And it's the Clarence Roos who lead this one by 4 points. And led by a little bit more midway through the term. Lauderdale hitting back late on, but you have got a real contest brewing here. And what is potentially a grand final preview, of course. Plenty of water to go under the bridge before we get to that. But Clarence showing that they can stick with this Lauderdale outfit and augurs well for what should be a pretty absorbing second half by down.
It definitely should. Clarence just starting to work their way into it. And at the start of the middle of that first quarter, it was theirs for basically the 3/4 of that quarter, and then Lauderdale just working their way back into it, although the scoreboard doesn't quite suggest so. They were definitely working back into it, making some more contests around the ground, and what we see now is a 4-point lead to Clarence, which was out to 19 at some stage in that quarter, so they've done well to draw it back, the Bombers.
They certainly have, and all to play for in the second half. In a gripping contest thus far. We'll be back shortly with the third quarter for you. Half time here at Ninja Stadium. It's Clarence 5-3-33, leading Lauderdale 4-5-29.
Wherever cancer is, we are. We are the supporters, preventers, researchers and advocates, leading Australia to a future without cancer. Every day, we're finding new and better ways to offer services, share knowledge, and bring hope to Australians everywhere, because cancer affects us all. We're here to listen and care for people, however they need us, whenever they need us, through any type of cancer, at any stage of the journey. Every day, we are supporting world-class researchers, empowering them to dream big and make the impossible possible. Together, we're pushing boundaries, unlocking the answers to understand, prevent and treat cancer. We're improving the lives of those living with it, and even getting close to eliminating some cancers altogether. You may not see us, but we're here, in schools and people's homes, on the beach, at work and on the streets, helping millions of Australians cut their risk and detect cancer sooner. We know that 1 in 3 cancers can be avoided, so we're out there preventing as many as we can. You may not hear us, but our voice is loud. Every day, we're using it to advocate, change laws and drive policies, to reduce cancer risks and improve cancer care, to break ground and speak for the community in places where they're not always heard. Every day, we're closer to a future without cancer. And as a charity, we rely on Australia's biggest hearts to help us get there faster.
Blunston's been building hard-working boots for over 150 years. The tougher you need them, the tougher we build them, giving you advanced protection and all-day comfort. After all, you never stand still, so neither do we. Blunston, building the future.
Oh, you mean the jam and cream? Good stuff.
Go! And one for you as well. Got it.
Original glazed. Classic.
At Banjo's, we speak donuts. Introducing our new range of flavours. Now there's one for everyone. Banjo's, making donuts better.
yeah, boom, bang, bang. Get the ill style and this shit go boom. Go boom, yeah, boom, bang, bang, yeah, boom, bang, bang, yeah, boom, bang, bang. Get the new style and this shit go boom, yeah, boom. The sound comes, yeah, get the style and this boom, back, every man, every basement freaking get the shit we speak.
Music is our addiction.
Music is all like a needle. Style and this shit go boom, bang, 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 bang. Get the ill style and this shit go boom. Bang, bang. Get the ill style and this shit go boom.
Oh, you chow down on that meat pie there, Barry. Alright, mate, son.
Won't be long.
Welcome back to Bellerive for the second half of this massive round 15 SFL Premier League clash. 1v2 on the ladder, and it is second place who hold sway by 4 points after the first 2 quarters of action. Clarence 5-3 leading Lauderdale 4-5. It's been an intriguing game. It was a really tight first half that seesawed. Clarence had a strong period in the ascendancy. Lauderdale started off really strong and then finished the second half strong. In between, Clarence were much the better team, and that's resulted with a ball game that's just 4 points between the sides as we get ready for the second half. All to play for here. And a potential grand final prelude here as Mapley follows up. His handball just missed Sutton. Slipping under some pressure there from Phillips, and it'll be Ratcliffe who looks to try and gather it, eventually brings it under his spell. Use Sutton or use Rainbird, back to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe now guides one up, searching for Dolliver. And hands before the boundary line, so it'll be tossed back into play. Lovely day for football here at Bellerive. Mapley took front position, won it down. Bealey looks to bend the back, and a flying shot on the on the run. Took a couple of bounce initially, but Harper able to get back and clear it away. Moves things quickly to Steele. Flat mongrel punt, turns straight over to Blackburn. Didn't catch that one at all right there, Steele. So Blackburn looked, well, he'll get 50. Not sure if that was Glover overstepping the mark or whether somebody said something. Either way, Stixie Blackburn is going to be marched well within scoring range here, and an opportunity to put his side ahead in the opening moments. So a bit of a gift this one for Lauderdale. Blackburn was well out of scoring range. The player on the mark just moved before the whistle. I think Glover thought maybe he was behind the mark, so he was entitled to move across. So, and Blackburn make them pay. A kick from 25 out directly in front. Blackburn guides it wide of the mark, so let off there for the Roos. Margin 2 points.
So Turner barrels this one back into the field of play. Garland stood underneath it, couldn't quite reel it in. Big bump there as Green just kicks one to a one-on-one. Standing underneath it was Suki. Nicely done though from Banks to bring it to ground. And we'll see the ball up. Just starts to drift a little bit cooler here in Ninja Stadium. Up down from Phillips. 2 points the margin. Rainbird. Kick into the centre of the ground. It's headed for Sutton. Dolliver uses his man. Just pushes him off. Sits it to the advantage of Sam Siggins at the front. It was Harper. Couldn't quite reel it in. He's been really good after that first 10-15 minute patches. Harper. Dolliver shrugged the tackle. Kick in board to Rainbird.
Pretty quiet first half from Jack Dolliver, but he's got himself involved here a couple of times early in quarter number 3. He's a player the Bombers was certainly like a lift from in that forward half.
Absolutely. So Rainbird's looking to get the lead back. It was as much as 19 points in that first term. Second term as well. So Rainbird kicks on the arc at 50. Wheeling and going. The veteran sends it for the first of the third term. Lauderdale back in front.
They've started this second quarter sharply, the Bombers. They started the game attacking this end in a similar manner. Clarence were able to wrest back control. Back half of quarter number 1. Continue that into quarter number 2, but Lauderdale then finished the first half pretty well, and they've picked up where they left off here. They retake the lead. The leaders reassert control of this contest. And a monopoly on the ball in the opening few moments here. Themselves a goal there. Rainbird. 4 points their lead as Phillips and Mapley meet in the middle. Phillips won it down, looking for Hooker. Rainbird trying to get free, just handed it off to Phillips. Clarence crowd wanting a throw, nothing doing. Hooker stepped over the top of one and then handed it across to Beerley. Looks to pinpoint one for Blackburn, and it was precise. Took it in stride. He sends it in the Siggins direction. Almost reeled it in Siggins. Couldn't quite complete it. Did the body work for Ian. He slaps his thigh. He was so close there.
That's just the change of role there for Sticks Blackburn. Not playing deep. He's moving up the ground, trying to sweep it forward and then get to the crumb.
He's been involved early in this quarter. Lane to do the ruck work this time. Norton shared it out the back to Turner. Back to Norton, who clears the area, but there's plenty of Bombers parked under this one, though. In the end, the Roos able to win the ball back. Kick into the corridor. Found Hanslow. Hanslow will have to wait. Allow some runners to get forward of the ball here. They do now. It's held up slightly there for Garland. Suki there. Garland just cleverly prodding it back towards Banks, who kept the ball in motion. Bellchambers charges off his line to get there. Handball back towards Suki. Didn't find him though. And now an inboard kick for Millward. Juggling the mark. And he takes it nicely. They just kept the ball moving there, the Roos. It wasn't always clean, it wasn't tidy, but they kept the ball in motion, and it leads to this chance for Millward.
Can play this John Millward. Don't you worry about that. He can kick big bags there.
It was a strong mark. He attacked it with some real presence. Reeled it in. Can he go back and kick the goal and restore his side's lead here? He was on fire in quarter number 2 there, John Millward. Can he get the job done from 40 outs? He can. He nails it. The pump of the fist, that'll lift the crowd. The Roos retake the lead here by 2 points. Millward gets his second of the contest.
Good player. He definitely does know where to lead. Went at the right times as well, Drew. As I probably said a couple of times already, he kicked a bag full on an STJFL Grand Final today. He can play John Millward, so he's one to watch for the future, that's for sure. As Clarence look to push their way towards finals, he can tear a game apart. Don't you worry about that. Here's young John Millward, and that's his second of the contest. Just working his way into it. It's Phillips wins the tap down over the head of Protney. Coming out to meet it is Hooker. Walsh lays a strong tackle. Ball up. The sun starts to spread again. Seven and a half gone. Tap down to Rainbird. Socket forward. Cooney. Nice little paddle and then flicked it back to Millward. Just searching to where to go. The outside kick on his non-preferred wasn't great, but it did end up to a player where they can go forward. Millward was there in the vicinity of it, but Bellchambers picking this one off as he looks to go for a really dicey kick to Paprotny. Sliding through, taking the intercept, Oscar Paprotny, and now they're looking to go a little bit quicker. Kick to the pockets. And leading out nicely. Clarence have been really good at leading out today. No doubt about that. They're going to look to get their 7th of the contest. And it's going to be Riley Banks, the former Lauderdale boy. Couldn't quite break into that senior team last year, Drew. He moved to Clarence for some more opportunity, and again, one of these younger players for the Roos that are going to guide them forward. So Banks, tight angle for a right footer. Looking to get his first. He swings it back. It's not swinging enough, and in fact, it doesn't quite have the distance. It's going to their behinds.
So 3 points the lead for the home side here. Perfect day for football at Ninja Stadium. This massive contest as we tick towards the pointy end of the season. The two number 11s fly, Preshaw and Lane. Lane followed up at ground level. Handed it across there to Marriott, who just launches it, but Siggins was caught behind Harper, who spilt it. That's going to invite danger. Shaw just has to stop, prop, and wait for some runners to get forward of the ball. Shared it with Walsh. Treading water now. Handball back inside. Found Marriott. Marriott just slaps it on the boot, not catching that at all cleanly. But the mark was spilled by Preshaw. Made a bit of a mess of that. They had some numbers, though, and bailed themselves out. But Potney steps across the line. Forces a stoppage. That was all just a little untidy there. And the result in a ball in. Half forward for the Bombers.
A chunk of the play hasn't been tidy, really. Opportunistic.
Tossed back in here as Holmes does the ruck work now. Bounced off his chest. Mapley shrunk free, then handball nicely to Turner. Gave it across to Harper. That was shut down by the long lead as Phillips just reached in, shut it down, but then he gave away a free kick in the follow-up. So Harper could drive the Roos to half forward. Glover had two to beat in the air, and one of them was the towering presence of Tane Suki, who takes a strong mark.
Career best season for Tane Suki. He has really announced himself. Played in some SFL rep games. This guy is really going to lead this Lauderdale defence as Suki. Marriott to Suki. Further now to McGuinness. Umpire called play on. Link of hand passes may await. Or Suki will just kick it out towards genuine one-on-one. Sutton tapping a couple of bites of it. Couldn't quite reel it in. Out now towards Gapin. Does well just to shrug the body and go inboard and flick it nicely to Preshaw. So Preshaw with a big booming boot inside forward 50. Out the back, McGuinness nearly taking the mark. Glover playing a strong tackle. Didn't have much presence down there at that fly. Colin Garland not in the forward 50 at the moment, not on the ground. As Phillips gets this one. Cooney just needed out in the end. Walsh just got mown down by the big Millwood. Real giraffe chasing the lion stuff there, Drewy. Millwood just chasing him. And nicely done.
Love to see you big fellas doing that if they can impact things at ground level as well. Walsh just thought he had more time than he did to just clear defensive 15. Millwood bearing down on him, brings him down, wins the free kick. Has the opportunity to kick his third here. Looming large in this contest, young John Millward. A big moment coming up. Won't be an easy kick though.
So Millwood, 3 points in it at the moment to extend it out to 9. 6-4 to 5-7. To kick his third, to bring his team out to 9 points in the third term. It's a booming boot. It might just sit up in the winds. Distance wasn't really a problem, but the accuracy definitely was. Minus score, 4 points.
So McGuinness will reload from fullback. They cluster in the middle and then break away and present. He opts for a short one to Rainbird. He also will go short for Williams. Walsh just peeled off out the back into some space. He guides it inside for Shaw. Next option readily presenting, so he'll kick to a contest. Lane flux it.
Good to see him out there.
He's grown into the game, Jordan Lane, as he drives this one in the Phillips direction, reaches out. Mapley spoiled it away from him. The clear and kick towards the boundary lines. Smashed back there, hooker, paddling it, under a bit of pressure now. Again, wraps him up.
See Jordan Lane out there having a bit of a stint on the sidelines this year, Drew.
Yeah, back into the side this week. Hoping to have him right for finals. A Shaw lays a tackle there and forces another stoppage. Napoli reaches over the top. Norton flashing through the contest. Left the football behind. Sutton handed it off to Bealey. High kick inside forward 50. That's beautifully plucked there by Philpott. It's a couple of times today he's taking strong intercept marks. Contested mark there, impressive. Short ball for Hill, who immediately plays on. Thought better of the switch, instead went for Green and just missed him, and that might invite some danger back the other way. No, it pushed to be played. The free kick to Green. Well, everyone just got forward of the ball for the Bombers. They're going to have to scramble back in a hurry now as they work it wide. And Gapin drives them up towards the forward 50. That's a beautiful ball. Found the marking target in the form of James Glover. Delightful ball use. And Clarence with another opportunity here. Everyone just stopped at the other end of the ground, thinking they had the mark. No one seemingly aware Green had been paid the free kick.
Second time he's let up at the football really, really prominently. James Glover looking to make it 2 from 2.
Lace out to him. Glover. From the paint of 50. He gives it a ride. And he is just an inch short. Touched right on the line.
No one follow was set on it. I like it. Back yourself in.
5 points to the margin.
McGuinness. Ben Williams called to play on. Could have went short to Walsh, just kicked it off the instep. Might work out for Marriott. Does, but Noah Holmes barrels into him. McGann twisting and turning through. Still, back to McGann. That should have been a sling. Noah Holmes really asserting his dominance in that contest. Walsh, Tilly, now they're off to the races. Sam Tilly, one bounce, kick inside. Only target forward was Cam Hooker. It was disappointing. And Breeshaw's going to go into the middle of the ground. Phillips just cutting that off. Should have been a free kick. Didn't want to go there, the umpire. The pass was good to Rainbird. Fired it through. Twisting and turning around to centre half forward. Standing underneath it is Sam Siggins. Big letdown. Harper's been so good. Just had a fly at it, Sam Siggins. You always need to take body on him. You'd much rather him taking it sort of the one-handed mark, because you can kind of live with that. But Sam Siggins flying at it 9 times out of 10 is always going to mark it.
Had 2 extra back in defence, and it mattered not. Siggins just had the room to run and launch and jump, and no one was beating him in that situation.
So Siggins for his third and regain the lead for the Bombers. Maybe get time for a goal now if you're Sam Siggins. Distance not a problem. Accuracy not a problem. Check it off. The one arm not a problem. Sam Siggins has 3.
That's a thumping kick. His last couple of shots for goal didn't quite catch them cleanly going. The snap had the big drop punt there and just launches it through the middle. Roll 50 out. That is a beautiful goal. Strong mark. Lovely finish. Lauderdale back in front by a point here. Siggins, after starting out like a house on fire, just gone a little bit quieter, but timely reminder of the threat that he possesses there. Restores the Bombers' lead in this seesawing contest here. 17.5 gone. Quarter number 3. Anybody's ball game this. A fascinating matchup. Harper and Siggins. Giving up some inches, it must be said. Harper has competed pretty well, but Siggins has 3.
He's done well.
Back to the middle, Mapley and Phillips won it down beautifully. Won it down to Ratcliffe, who drives it deep. Fly from the side, fell out the back for Holmes, and Holmes can run into an open goal and extend the lead to 7-2 in a minute for the Bombers. And it was made by the ruck work of Phillips. It was sublime to Ratcliffe. And the quick ball inside 50 pays dividends. As a whistle's gone here.
Blood rule, Drewy.
Yeah, blood rule won't be another 3 out of the middle.
Worried.
The Bombers making their move, Bo Dowling.
They are. Just again coming off with the blood rule. Holmes just snuck out the back. And Harper, though, he did quite well just to sort of get the body on Siggins. He didn't fly at it, so that's another win for him. But Holmes just, as I said, snuck and was very quiet. And he gets his first of the afternoon against his old side in the bleach blonde hairdo. Not sure about it. Slim shady. So Phillips winning the tap down. Mapley, quick hands out to Paprotny and now fires one out to Green. Kick inside, forward 50. Garland nearly underneath it was Suki. He's having a real good game today, Suki. Tracking this one now, put under a whole heap of pressure. Umpire calls for a ball up. Kept Colin Garland goalless. Well, he's had a couple of opportunities. He's been quite selfless today, Colin Garland. As he contests this ruck contest, maybe on cue, he might go forward. He gets slung down to the ground and holding the football against Colin Garland.
Yeah, Bealey with a big win there of a goal saver. Garland tried to shrug free and get his shot away. Couldn't quite get boots the ball. So Bealey on a saving tackle, and he finds Shaw here. Shaw massages one to half back, and now they look to go right through the middle here. The Bombers outside of the boot towards Hooker. Kept his feet. Walsh arrived in support. Walsh now has Holmes wide open inside forward 50. The speed of ball movement there, just unlocking the Roos defence, leading to this opportunity for Holmes for his second in a quick succession.
Not the dominant game that we used to, but he doesn't have to. He's got 4 other people, 4 targets around him that can play that role.
Remains a tough matchup, a big presence, so Holmes could extend the Bombers' lead to 13 points as they're just getting on top of this contest. The first time really since the opening 10 minutes or so. It's Noah Holmes, just inside the paint of 50. Doesn't quite have the journey. It's kept in play. The Clarence defence try and clear the area. Harper the target on the exit kick. Tilly did pretty well not to give away the free kick, but Harper was strong initially, put Cooney under some pressure. Now Norton's in trouble, just got the handball away in time. Paprotny back to Harper. Oh, really sharp hands to Norton. That was great from Harper, and he worked it over the top to Hurd. They've worked this nicely, the Roos. They manufacture something forward of the football. Davies burst out into space. Will the ball sit for him? It does now. Davey guides it in. He's forward, just lost his footing though. Allowed the intercept mark to be taken back there by Bealey, who drops it in short. They get out of jail there. The Bombers, it was some really good play from Harper at half-back that led to the chance. Williams drives it out of defence. Hooker with a strong pair of hands.
Cam Hooker out of side. Right in front of the scoreboard. 6-6 to 7-7. Kick was dicey, just ended up in the lap of Ratcliffe. He missed it though, and they might swoop on this one, Clarence. Hands though still working. Ball in dispute at ground level. Eventually stacks on. Ball up. Not too far from where we had that kick. So Phillips. Tap down was intercepted though. Running through to Hanslow. Spun out of trouble. Out now to Harper. Sends the ball inside forward 50. Mapley from behind. Or Millwood rather. Cooney getting it on the left boot. It's not anywhere near the goals. In fact, it's out on the full. So Lauderdale bringing this one back in. Kick now to Bealey. Bealey to Williams in game 150. Williams looking for an option. Chips a short one to Williams. Further afield, they've got Blackburn and Holmes coming up to the contest if they want to go there. Phillips as well working. They'll go horseshoe around the ground to Williams. And now out to Bell Chambers, who bites off a kick to Bealey. Wanted to go back to Bell Chambers, didn't elect to. Short on is Hooker. Doesn't want to. So Bealey eventually goes to Hooker, who finds himself in the other 50, usually in their forward 50. Kick is dicey again to Ratcliffe. Makes this one work out okay though. Now they're going to go further afield to Sutton. Kick just chopped off there by the veteran Garland. Did well to put the hair pass back in front, but Sutton spun out. Still had him.
So it'll be tossed up. Attacking side of the square for the Bombers. They lead this one by 7 points. and work their way on top here in quarter number 3. The Roos now looking for a response. Harper just punches it forward. Perhaps a case for a hold there in favour of Glover. In the end, a push is going to be paid. And it's going to go against Garland. Free kick to Bealey, who's had a couple of good wins in defence this term. He's going to spy the target of Phillips here. That's where he heads. Napley did nicely, brought it to ground. Sutton crashes in. Steele climbs on top and forces a stoppage.
Ruck battle's good. I think it's quite even at the moment. Phillips obviously doing really well, but Napley's held his own. Young ruckman.
No tougher task than playing against Andrew Phillips in the ruck as this one heads towards the line. It'll be kept in by Ratcliffe. McGuinness quickly gets boot to ball. Blackburn tracking it. Johnston herring out after it, but he overruns it. Handball from Hanslow found Paprotny, was composed to Harper. And Harper, does he dare to bite something off into the corridor here? No, instead he'll head down the line for the likely target of Garland, but Lane drifted into his path, broke it up. McGuinness applying the pressure here. Locks it in and forces another stoppage. So 7 points the margin. This top of the ladder showdown. Millwood and Holmes battle away. Harper's been prolific. It's a 2-on-1 inside forward 50, but the one wins in the form of Glover. Just wanted it more. The defender's caught ball watching, and Glover just works his way to the football. And he'll have another shot for goal here.
Yeah, Winter letting him work up to that, and really no communication, saying, hey, stand in the road, don't let him jump at it.
He's probably expecting a block to come and allow the mark to be taken, not to be. Glover just willed himself to the football. Can he cut the margin back to 1 point here? Missed a chance earlier this quarter. Glover, this time around, he nails it. Right through the middle from James Glover, and he cuts the margin back to a solitary point deep into quarter number 3.
Yeah, nicely done by Harper. So he's done well, has Feely and Glover have gone at it all day for either side, but just letting Glover go on that occasion. And now they get it back within a point. So looking to really stamp their authority on this quarter. 26, nearly 27 gone. 7-6, 7-7. A point's in it here. Top of the table, SFL clash. Mapley really stamping authority on this one. He'll ruck and he'll rove. Harper can unleash from outside 50. It's just offline for a minor score. Nearly got there. Just needed to go a couple of metres to the right and he would have got it. So McGuinness going to call this one back. McGuinness to go down this interchange side wing. Finding him space was Williams. He thought the ground was quite well covered. Sutton a bit trapped where to go at the moment. The Bombers, so they just select to go down the line to Lane from the side. Lane's kick in, board to hooker, just a little bit too hot for him. It might earn up. Not very good for the Bombers. Big tackle laid from Bealey. Philpott now out to Turner. Turner's kick forward. Hits up a teammate in Hanslow. Johnston. Air pass again, really dicey. Bell Chambers kick into the middle of the ground. Hits up Tilly. Tilly on the siren, and Hooker was trying to mark it. That will be your ball game. All square here at Ninja Stadium. 7-7 apiece. We've got a ball game on our hands, don't we, Drewy?
Oh, it could not be better set, the stage for the final term. 7-7 apiece. They cannot be separated at three-quarter time. It has been an incredibly even match, and that is reflected on the scoreboard. Who will be able to get it done in the final term? It is all set for a grandstand finish in this huge round 15 clash. The top two in the competition going at it just when it seemed like Lauderdale was starting to get on top, break away. Clarence pinned them back. It's been that sort of a game. Neither team has stayed in the ascendancy for too long. And who is going to be able to go harder for longer? We'll find out shortly with the final term. All square at Ninja Stadium. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a cracking finish to this huge encounter. Back soon with quarter number 4. For the Bombers, they're going to have to scramble back in a hurry now as they work it wide. Gapin drives them up towards the forward 50. That's a beautiful bowl. Found the marking from the paint of 50. He gives it a ride, and he is just an inch short, touched right on
Third, fight it through. Twisting and turning around to centre half forward, standing underneath it. There's Sam Siggins. Maybe it's time for a goal over now if you're Sam Siggins. Distance not a problem, accuracy not a problem. Check it off.
Back to the middle, Mapley and Phillips won it down beautifully. Won it down to Ratcliffe, who drives it deep. Fly from the side, fell out in the back for Holmes, and Holmes can run into an open goal and extend the lead. Now they look to go right through the middle here, the Bombers. Outside of the boot towards Hooker, kept his feet. Walsh arrived in support. Walsh now has Holmes wide open inside forward 50. Millwood and Holmes battle away. Harper's been prolific. It's a 2-on-1 inside forward 50, but the one wins in the form of Glover. Just wanted it more. The defenders caught ball. Watched a chance earlier this quarter. Glover, this time around, he nails it. Right through the middle from James Glover.
Explore. I feel like bust
Well, we're back for the final quarter here at Bell Reeve Oval. All square, 7 apiece after 3 terms. Both these sides try and land a bit of a mental blow ahead of a likely September matchup. And of course, the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup on offer here today. The teams will be playing for great cause, and it's been a great game of football. Who's going to emerge victorious? We'll wait and find out. It is there for the taking for both these sides. Both have had periods on top. Who can get it done in the last quarter? It is all to be played for. It's been a gripping encounter. Looking forward to seeing the conclusion of this one. Low down and will get us underway in quarter number 4.
Absolutely, as we get some players off the ground. Seesawing game here at Ninja Stadium. Last term up next. We're set for a grandstand finish on the AFL Tas YouTube channel. 7-7 apiece. Phillips and Mapley in the ruck. The scene is set. As we have our first toss-up of the last. Mapley rucking and roving out through the middle. He could have just went himself. He goes selfless. Kick inside forward. 50 is good. Preshaw for the dream start for the Roos. Ollie Preshaw looking to slot this one and get the early ascendancy. Been quieter today from his standards. Still could have time for a massive impact. As Preshaw minds up, relatively easy kick. One of the easiest of the day. And we have put the moz on him. Well, not me, or not Drewy, but I put the moz on him there. He should have got that 1 point the margin. Clarence do regain the lead. Commentators curse well and truly in action there, Drewy.
Well, that is an absolute howler of a miss, and will it prove costly? 15 out directly in front. What a blow that would have been to land in the opening moments of the quarter. Just behind the show for it. Beerley gets the hands free and then able to work a kick forward. Should be chopped off, but in the end Harper couldn't quite get there. Philpott charged into by Rainbird, and then Harper locks it into Dollar. Forces a stoppage in the sunshine here at Ninja. It's been a glorious day for football.
Having a good day, Rainbird.
The physical presence he's known for us. This one's rucked down towards Green. Had to quickly fire a handball out, and did umpire. He's going to pay the free kick to Green. It was dumped after he got rid of it. So he sends this one to the corridor. It was a risky kick, but he pulled it off to perfection. Paprotny drives it inside, looking for Preshaw. Takes the mark. He's got a man on over the top. Played on, dropped it, gets a second chance, and this time Preshaw makes no mistake. And he gets the goal to put the Roos 7 points ahead. I thought he'd made a meal of it initially, but he recovered and snapped truly. And the Roos get the first goal of the final term.
Well, he's lucky. He is really, really lucky. Here's Ollie Preshaw. Nearly made an absolute meal out of that. That's his first. Yeah, that's nearly as bad as you see it. Truly. Lucky that he could regather. I could see what he was doing from the start. He probably just needed to go back a couple of metres extra to just contain himself. He was too excited to get it to young Riley Banks. As we go back into the centre now, Phillips, Mapley really starting this quarter off well. Ratcliffe at the back of the stoppage. Walsh gets drilled instantly by Harper. Those two lads playing a lot of football against each other, like Harper and Bryce Walsh. One of the two veterans of the SFL/TSL in the south. So ball up, too far from the arc. Phillips could tap down into the path of Ratcliffe, slapped it on for Tilly. Tilly did well to gather it and send them forward. Rainbird let the ball bounce out in front of him. Johnston tracking this one down. Nifty little chip over the top to Norton, just over the head. Preshaw, Walsh, scooped a hand pass. Tilly, Cooney laying pressure on him. Green wanted to take the advantage. Free kick is actually going to the Bombers. They look to go down this outer side. Could Back in the Jordan Lane direction. Nice mark from the big fella. So Lane, Siggins is the next link in the chain. Goes directly to him. Nice three-handed grab. Wheeling and going to Jack Dolliver on the lead.
Bullet pass from Siggins. It was a strong mark and the kick was just superb.
Exactly right. So Dolliver's going back for his second of the afternoon. Let's bring it back within a point. Jack Dolliver is an own goal kicker. Opens up the angle. And again, we might have put the moz on him as this one's fisted out of bounds for a boundary throw-in deep inside the forward 50.
So missed opportunity there for Dolliver.
Might just have to turn the mic off here, I reckon, Drew.
Stop praising Ford's kicking skills, Ras Bowie, because this one we tossed in. Fair to say it wasn't Dolliver's best. He's been fairly subdued today. Still has a chance to make his mark, as does Jordan Lane. What a kick that is. He bent it back superbly. And the Bombers do get their goal, and they cut the margin back to a solitary point. Just caught it superbly there, Lane. Perhaps the role we're most familiar with him, roving it. Just suddenly had plenty of room to manoeuvre in that forward 50. He made no mistake. Launched it into the sky. And both teams have had a chance they probably could have done better with. Missed, but then got a goal within about 30 seconds of it.
Yep, first goal of the day for Jordan Lane. He's battled. Some taping around the nose as well. So Phillips. Tap down out in front of hooker. Swooping onto it now is Davey. Kick to a one-on-one. Cooney, but Billy taking a nice mark on Cooney. Phillips. And now the corridor kick for Lauderdale. This one's a dicey one over the head of Shaw. Swooping up on it is Mapley, who's covered the ground really well today. His kick just a little bit too hot now. Josh Williams in game 150. Underground hand pass wasn't any good. Hanslow got his kick smothered. Tilly did well. Ball up, or throw in rather. Right in front of the interchange boxes here at Ninja Stadium. Sun's still out. It's 8-8 to 8-7. 1 point in it. 6.5 gone in this final term. So Phillips and Mapley. Good contest. Mapley getting the reach over him. Green. Davey gobbled up by McGuinness.
So Josh McGuinness go into the corridor. Hooker running onto it. Gathers it in stride. Shifts it across now to Sutton. He'll dart back in to the bullseye, then send a high up and under in the Dolliver direction. Spoiled away from him. Fell the way of Shaw. Sweat the handball there for Tilly. Danced round one. Returned it to Blackburn. Gave it off to Hooker. Straightens up and snaps. And goals! And the Bombers take the lead in the final term here at Ninja Stadium by 5 points. Just kept the ball moving by hand. Next man. And eventually Hooker, who continued his run, finished it off and puts the Bombers back in front.
Yeah, nicely done by Hooker. Wasn't the prettiest kick you'll see. Got there on the end. Nearly going to say they nearly got out of it. Did the Roos. Harper kept Siggins contained. They just been able to clear the area. They might have been out, but running onto it there. There's Fletcher Hooker, who's having a pretty good day. As Phillips taps this one down all into the path of Shaw. It was Silver service back to Hooker. Barreling ball inside forward 50. Dolliver just got caught as he went to Marquez. And a free kick and gives a little bit to his ex-teammates as well. So Dolliver lining up for a second. This one big in the context of this game. Already 5 points in front. So gets it out to 11. Jack Dolliver No bigger kick in the context of this one as it stands, and Dolliver splits the middle. He gets his second. Out to 11 points.
3 goals in succession, and 3 in pretty quick succession too for the Bombers. They hit back. They've been challenged by this Clarence outfit, but the Premiership favourites stamping their authority here in the final term. They've gone bang, 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 and they lead by 11. Back over to the Roos. What do they have in response? All day, whenever one side has got a little bit of a break, it's been the other who's hit back. Can the Roos do it again? They have left in the tank. The Stars starting to come to the fore for the Bombers. Phillips reaches over the top, won it down beautifully, then dished a sharp handball to Hooker. Hooker drives them inside 50. Might have been a hold on Siggins. Play allowed to continue out the back. Philpott guides this one out to Turner. But Turner, sun in his eyes, assesses his options. And Cooney on short, instead bites off a bit more, set a task for Green, paddled onwards there by Phillips. Blackburn handed it to Hooker, manufactured a kick inside forward 50, couldn't gather it there. Norton trying to bring it in was Hill, and in the end he's forced to tackle Blackburn. Holds them up. It's the Bombers coming with a charge here in the final term. Siggins crafted it down to Walsh. Shaw skips free and then snaps for goal for 4 in a row for the Bombers. Ned Shaw fires it home, and the ladder leaders are flexing their muscle here. It's been a scintillating burst of football, and they've busted this one open to a 17-point lead.
Ned Shaw, nicely done. That's 4 goals now, Drewy, within 5 minutes of each other. Quick succession. Really starting to stamp their authority on this one. Clarence bring it back. Been pretty good all day. Seesawing affair here in India Stadium. Perhaps there might be one more twist and turn in this one. But for now, it's the Bombers in front. 8-8 to 11-7. 11 and a half minutes gone in this final term. Phillips just smacked it out of there. Through the hands of Paprotny. Going forward, but McGuinness taking a calm intercept mark and a calm head by Josh McGuinness. Goes to Fletcher Hooker. Going through the middle of India Stadium. It's a bullet pass forward. Dolliver on the lead. Hands out. Did nicely. Noah Holmes is calling for it in the pocket. That's the direction he goes. Home or Rainbird. Nearly, but it's Holmes. The big man working into this one. He's already kicked one, Noah Holmes, in the third term. To really flex their muscles and to get it out to 4 goals. You can start to feel this game really shift across to the Bombers. Holmes. For a second of the afternoon. Can go for goal, and he does. He splits the middle. Umpire barely had to move. Holmes gets a second. Out to 4 goals now, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, pedal to the metal here from the Bombers. They have well and truly turned it on. Challenged by Clarence, but they have brought their best here. And they have blown this one wide open, and it's been some key big names in the middle. Phillips has been profound with his influence, and Fletcher Hooker's really getting off the chain in the midfield. I think he's been involved in 3 of the goals. He's really starting to cut them apart through the middle of the ground. And it's just been a devastating burst. It's been a day where goals have been pretty hard to come by for 3 quarters. In the space of 6 minutes, Lauderdale have opened up the floodgates and have what might be a decisive break. Can Clarence respond? Cleverly paddled on by Mapley. Cooney just got boot to ball, but he couldn't find a marking target. And Bell Chambers intercepts. The Bombers have brought their A game. The sun just getting in the eye of Shaw there. Lost it, allowed Cooney to pick it up. He was immediately stripped of it. Hooker another possession. He works it across now to Marriott. Marriott goes back to McGuinness. Balks one way, then the other, and then just guides a clever kick to Blackburn. Blackburn has Holmes one out in the square. That's the direction he heads. Holmes! They're piling it on now, the Bombers. And Holmes can go back and remarkably make this a 29-point lead. This has been 10 minutes of brilliance from the Bombers. They kicked 7 goals in the first 3 quarters. If he kicks this, it'll be 6 in 10 minutes. And the Roos are suddenly reeling. This is why they're top of the ladder. This is why they're premiership favourites. Because when they turn it on, it is so good. And it might be a match-winning break now for the Bombers. 29 points. They've kicked 6 goals straight after Clarence kicked the first of the final term. They threw down the challenge. And boy, have the Bombers shown they're up for it.
Absolutely. The experience of this team have just been able to come across and really put the afterburners on. How good is it to watch, Drury? You described it perfectly. 15 minutes gone into this last term. 8-8 to 13-7. Brilliant display of team football here at India Stadium. Noah Holmes is on full display as well. 29 points it is as it stands at the moment. As we drift back into the middle. Holmes on the bench for a spell as Phillips takes this one. Blackburn hand passed it nearly to himself in the end. Out the front of the stoppage came Phillips. Hand passed it inboard to Shaw. Maybe the sun caught the eyes of him a second time. We'll see a ball up. Holmes off. Phillips socket out of midair from Davey. Kicks it out in front of Mapley. He'll send it forward. Out in front of the ball is Millward. He might be able to track this one down, the big man. Scooped it forward and put his teammate under an enormous amount of pressure as you see a ball up. Not too far out from the 50, or the goal square rather, for Clarence.
A toss up. Phillips has really dominated this quarter. Started from the middle. Shaw pressured there by Davey. And Shaw happy to see it across the line. It's just been a devastating burst from the Bombers in such a tight arm wrestle all afternoon. And suddenly, this thing has been busted wide open. Back into play. Phillips and Millward. Phillips paddled it over the top. Harper. Handball. Took an unkind bounce. Might let Hooker in there. Gets there and then gets a high tackle. You get the free kick. He's had big last term so far, has Fletcher Hooker. That kick stretching the confines to its limit. Out of bounds on the full as this one's chipped back inside. But Davey and Norton riding shotgun used him, but he was under all sorts of pressure. Just forced to scramble a handball back to Mapley. Maintained his composure though, chipped it short. On the outside there, under a bit of pressure, it was McGann, and he's brought down. It's across the line. It's McGann staying down, went off with the blood rule in the previous quarter. He's been in the walls today, but
he has. Joey McGann. The strapping around the head. A couple of boys out there doing now. As Siggins taps it out of the ruck. Switching forward with Phillips, who's going to drift down into the goal square as Shaw. Bullet passes a kick towards Dolliver. Push his man underneath it. Umpire called play on Dolliver for the finishing touches of a beautiful last quarter. Nicely done from Jack Dolliver. Third of this encounter. And how good has he been today in this final quarter? 7 last term goals, Andrew Cooley, to the Lauderdale Bombers.
Yeah, some good body work at half forward there from Dolliver, and it was wide open in front of him. Really opened up with that handball from Sam Tilley too in the build-up. It was swept superbly into the middle of the ground, just broke things apart. It was a wide open forward 50 for Dolliver to work in. After 7 goals in 3 quarters, they have matched that effort before we hit red time in the final term. This has been brutal stuff from the Bombers. Siggins to get it out of the middle, just paddled it across to Rainbird. His kick intercepted by Steele. Steele guides it for Cooney. They have turned up the heat in this final quarter. Onto a gear the Roos haven't been able to match. Long ball inside forward 50. That's nicely plucked. It's a strong mark from Preshaw. He's looked dangerous down there in this quarter. Started off really prominently. The ball just hasn't got down there enough in the last 15 minutes, but he'll opt not to shoot and just chip one over the top. Finds the mark in the pocket there. So selfless from Preshaw. We'll see if Norton, who's on the non-preferred side for the left footer. Very good kick of the football, but a tight angle here for Baxter Norton to just try and stem the bleeding of 7 unanswered goals. Norton pulls it across the face, drives into the post and won't trouble the scorers. About sums the state of this final term up for the Roos.
Well, that kick's really would have done much. It's Winter sets it out in front of the lane. Fist came from McGann as they swoop forward. Cooney ran himself into some trouble. That's ball. Turning up the heat when it counts are the Bombers. They finish really, really strong. As Tilley sends him down the line through the hands of Siggins. Drove his own ball, and how majestic was that as he sends them forward. But this time no one was home apart from Garland and Holmes. Holmes and Garland. Nicely done by the veteran. Hand pass, a little bit croppy, but it's okay. It'll be a throw in either way. Sam Siggins showing how good he really is. Just breaking through that passage. A couple of tackles. He doesn't care what is in front of him. 8-8 to 14-7. Siggins out of the ruck. It was intended for Beerley. Picking it up was Turner. Further afield now. And maybe to hugging the boundary line. Not going so well at the moment for Clarence. We'll see another throw in out of side.
Siggins battles it down to Josh Green though. Plays the 1-2 and then Johnston. Found Steele who sends it down the line, and it's a nice kick to Mapley. Wants to keep things moving quickly. Used Harper. Harper to Glover. Presenting up nicely. Plucked it, and he's got Cooney continuing his run. He'll go deeper in the pre-shore direction. Williams spiked it away. Cooney continuing to work. Now got to apply some defensive pressure. Yeah, we locked in there for a ball up. Well, they're going fast, the Roos, but they haven't got enough time now. Their race is run. Blown away by the Bombers in this final term. They'll be happy with the first 3 quarters. Been able to finish it off today. Norton worked it back inside. Millwood's been impressive. Couldn't gather that one in. Siggins clears defensive 50 on the left, up there towards Dolliver, and the boundary line wins out.
Disappointing last term. 100% for Clarence. I mean, 7 last term goals when they were in the game. Grant Fagan would be pretty annoyed with that.
Well, they kicked the first of the quarter and they looked on at that point, but what a response this has been from the ladder leaders. They reminded everyone why they are the team to beat come September. That one's spilt by Hooker. Glover just lost his footing though and ends up coughing it up to Bell Chambers. Bill Chambers now driving a deep lane with a fairly blatant push, I thought. And yes, the umpire has spotted it. And give the free kick the way of the Roos.
So again, out now to Steele. Steele works his way down, and Suki again has been so good down there in defence. Bell Chambers just spreading the wings a little bit towards Lane. Put a fingernail in there. Garland, and the veteran knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one. No one in the stadium was dumb enough to think that, maybe he fumbled that. That was 100% calculated and 100% executed.
Riley Johnson tried to fly for that ball with cramp. Now he can't get off the ground. He's tried to stretch it out. His leg has just gone on him. He's tried to stretch it out, got to his feet to try and run off, and then collapsed again. He did not want to have to go for that ball. He went for it all the same, and now he is absolutely hobbling towards the interchange.
Sniper is back out here. As we see this one thrown back in. Siggins to Shaw. Kick inside. A 2-on-1 though. Favouring Harper, just left it behind. Dolliver so crafty in front of goal, but he slung to the ground this time. Stuck into him a little bit. Well, I've never seen the umpire jump in and try and break it up. Wow, that's a first. Sort of security guard. Silver service down to Sam Siggins. Harper professionally on the line was finishing that one pre-short. And now to Garland. It's like he was a bouncer in a nightclub, just jumping on the pack and coming to get off each other. Garland's kicks it out to Steele. Wonderful stuff. To the running Herd. Harper, corridor kick. Roos might be on.
He chips it over the top. Can the Roos find a consolation goal here? But Protny's charged forward of the ball. He gathers, he closes in on goal. He pulls it across the face. Hill, Green now, snaps over his shoulder, Josh Green. And the mark will be paid right on the goal line there. And it is the impressive young John Millward who can go back and try and add to his tally. And a late consolation marker here for his side. And he does the business. He's been one of his side's best today, John Millward. And he stops a run of 7 straight goals. I've seen the Bombers storm away with this one. He can keep his head held high. He's been good today, Millward. Fortunately, just didn't have enough winners with him in the engine room, really. And really, a 10-minute burst that's going to be the difference. For most of the day, Clarence have been pretty good. 10 minutes of football has settled this.
Yep, 100%. Describe it beautifully. They were really good up until three-quarter time, and then even in the early stages, maybe the first 3 or 4 minutes of that first term, or last term they were on, was Phillips to Shaw, back to Phillips, hand pass just really in search and hope really as Walsh swoops onto it. Sutton breaks the tackle. Ned Marriott up to Ned Shaw, working in tandem now with Tilly. Tilly looking for the next best option. Kick in front of Siggins, but chopped off from Pre-Shaw. Looking to horseshoe around the ground. This kick is dicey. It wasn't brilliant as Beerley brings ball to ground and circles around an opponent and sets it out for a teammate in Dolliver, who copped it high. Dolliver closing off this game better than he started. 1 goal to half-time. Got 2 now, looking for 3. Took one of the marks of the year, I reckon, if you saw that drawing a couple of weeks ago against Glenorchy. Jack Dolliver, right on the arc of 50. He'll take this kick, hanging up in the wind. It will get there, but it'll be offline for a minor score.
First blemish on the scoreboard for the final term. They kicked 7 straight up to that point, the Bombers. They're taking every chance that gone their way. 7-7 for 3 quarters, 7-1 so far in the final term. It's be approach the finish line of this one. No doubt heading into September. The Bombers have stamped themselves clearly the class of the SFL Premier League. It's going to take something special to stop them in September. Clarence looked best positioned to do it. Perhaps the 3/4 showed the recipe today, but can you do it for 4? It's going to be the ask come finals as Garland swipes at that one and just had a bit of a fresh airy. And we have stoppage on the wing. And even 5 goals the lead for all the Bombers. Palmed down by Holmes. Hands low. Cooney has fought hard. That one locked in again. On down towards Paprotny and Ratcliffe. McGuinness shared it with Walsh. Faked one way, then came out the other, and his kick doesn't quite manage to stay in play. For hooker, Garland will take over.
All going. How many games the finals can he play? Began to pre-short. Getting up the ground. Running to Turner. Hand pass, or kick rather, to Harper. Pre-short. Back to McGann. Back where we started. And now they get themselves into a little bit of a jam with this kick. It's out alright to Hurd. Philpott working his way down the ground over the head of Banks. And again, the boundary line beats everyone. 30 minutes gone, 9-8 to 14-8 here. A 30-point margin. Of course, it was 1 point at quarter time. 30 points it is now. Everyone out on their feet. It's been a tough day of football in near perfect conditions at Ninja Stadium. Phillips just knocks that one out. Hooker clean bowls him. Pre-shore the hand pass over the top to Paprotny. His hand pass too hot to handle for Cooney. Phillips just trying to rip that one out of the hands of Mapley. Good contest that's been today. Cooney. Swerving kick inside forward 50. Mark nearly taken. Williams. Bottom of the pack. All up.
Dying embers of this one. Clarence pushing. Trying to find a late one here. The result will be on doubt. As Phillips and Banks compete. Phillips, who's a profound influence on this final quarter. So much of it came from the middle as Preshaw pumps this one deep. Off hands. Winter was there. Hanslow following up. Can't keep the ball in. And runs it across the line. Bealey. Pretty good afternoon back there for the Bombers. Stabs a short ball. Ryan Sutton. Wide for McGuinness. Back to Bealey, just chipping it round, looking to run out the clock here. It's job done. As far as Lauderdale are concerned, they were made to work for this one. They were in an absolute battle for much of the afternoon, challenged in a manner which they haven't been challenged too often this season. And very much in the balance early in this quarter, but what a response it was from them. 7 straight goals, and a devastating burst. As that one's nicely plucked by Philpott. Some contested marking today. Philpott. Turner kept it moving onwards to Paprotny, and Paprotny tried to find Glover, just too much on it, fell out the back for Banks, and trickles across the line.
33 now, long quarter, 7 goals from Lauderdale in it. They have been as dominant as ever. It's going to take some beating to knock them off this year. Phillips out of the ruck, just spirals the ball in the middle of the ground. Dolliver hung at the back. Muscles flexed. Statement made here at Ninja Stadium. It wasn't the perfect game to start with In fact, it wasn't perfect for 3 quarters. And then they turned it on after that 3-quarter time break and blitzed 7 consecutive goals on the scoreboard. Even 4 or 5 within 10 minutes of each other, Drewy. It was a game where Lauderdale stamped their authority in this final term.
Yeah, it was quite the statement, wasn't it, that final quarter? Really impressive stuff. They just went up to a gear Clarence couldn't match. And they'll be happy with how they handled them for 3 quarters, but Lauderdale will go away confident as a result of a 29-point victory. And they're going to take some major stopping come September. Impressive final term from them. It was an intriguing clash for much of the afternoon before that. For 3 quarters, it was a real tight battle, all square, 3-quarter time. And Clarence kicked the first of the final term. They looked on, they were up and about. Boy, what a response it was. So, Lauderdale run out, comfortable victors, and they will also claim, as well as the bragging rights and perhaps a slight mental edge ahead of finals, the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup, which they were playing for today. Great initiative, great to see clubs getting around that concept, but it was really scary stuff from the Bombers out there today. When it mattered most, when the game was there to be won, they just elevated. Their stars lifted. Hooker, Phillips out of the middle, Dolliver started to come into it in the forward line. And just got so many threats. Noah Holmes barely been sighted for much of the afternoon. Suddenly it was a tour de force inside forward 50. That's the problem. You start really putting the time and effort into combating Siggins, putting an extra man on him. Who then just stand on the likes of Holmes, Hooker, Jordan Lane we saw coming into it. Just got so much firepower, and I think we saw that this afternoon, didn't we?
I think so. I mean, you normally question, can it work? Well, absolutely it can work. We saw it work today. I mean, Clarence have been the only team really that have come close to Lauderdale a couple of times in a row. Glenorchy more, maybe once. Well, they've bet them once. So in finals, whoever really has the tallest defence, I reckon you could say, Drew, as much as that's a silly line, whoever has the tallest defence who can play on Lauderdale might give themselves the best chance. So, but today, I mean, not really one part of their last quarter that you could fault at all. But the first 3, I mean, Brent Dolliver was pretty vocal. It's at quarter time, sort of how he conveyed his messaging, and obviously they sort of changed it. It took them a while to change and really build towards a big win, but once they turned the Jets on and that 7-goal blitz, I mean, it only took them, as you said, 10 minutes of football to really get Clarence out of the game.
Yeah, it was pretty scintillating stuff indeed. There might be a few clubs hoping for a slightly wet September to try and curb those Giants in the forward line, but there was no stopping the Bombers in the final term today. They win this one by 29 points. Thank you for your company on the live stream. This one, a big win for the Bombers. Andrew Cooling and Bo Down, and bring it to you from Ninja Stadium. We'll leave you with the pictures of the Bombers being presented with the Speak Up